everyone. Welcome to my channel. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Mark Palermo. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you.
Yes, so let's jump right in. What is your favorite part about being a real estate agent?
Um, a number of things, actually. The collaboration with my team. I have a team of six other agents, and also just the collaboration of the people, helping people. I feel it's very rewarding. It's a go, go, go business. I used to spend about 25 years in the advertising agency business, which is 100% about customer service, and it's very grueling business. This is really no different. I learned a lot from the advertising agency business, especially working with C-level executives to try to make them happy on their advertising campaigns. We had a lot of national accounts that we worked with. There was a lot demanded of us. And in the Silicon Valley, especially, there are a lot of people here that have that same level of, expectation
Yeah,
of us. I mean, we're selling $2, $3, $4 million homes regularly, and those aren't even big homes, but it's still a lot of money.
yeah.
I remember when I first got into advertising agency business, having a $4 million advertising account was like a big deal. Of course, now they're in the $100 million range,
Yeah.
um, but back in the early 80s, and I'm a little older, I'm 67 years old. So I've been in the business, in corporate and real estate business for a while. Um, you know, it the expectations of somebody selling a, 4 million, $3 million house, they want a lot out of you. And I
Yeah.
know how to handle that.
Yeah. No, that's awesome, especially when you're saying Silicon Valley, like definitely that price point. And that
Yeah.
means that you're super, super educated and knowledgeable, which is always good. You want someone who's got that experience behind them.
Right, and my whole team is like that. So we're all ex-corporate people. We have
Okay.
that kind of mindset. I mean, we used to get up at 8 o'clock in the morning, travel 20 miles to work every day with suit and tie, and be there on time and leave at 5, 6, and come home. Both commutes were during rush hour, so it was very grueling. So in many cases, I had 45 minutes to hour commutes
Oh my
each,
gosh.
each way. Uh,
Yeah.
but that taught us, a work ethic, and it also helped us as a team not be that local area specialist, right? I mean, because when in downtimes, if you're committed just to a 3 mile radius, and something happens during that 3 mile radius that would inhibit sales, you're kind of stuck. So
Right.
what we have done, we've expanded our territory out almost on a 30-mile radius.
Okay.
I don't mind making that trip. I used to travel 20 miles a day to work, 5 days a week, 52 weeks out of the year. I
Right.
don't mind traveling 25, 30 miles couple times a week just to show a house or
Yeah.
list a house. And so we
Totally.
have a whole different mindset, and my whole team's that way. And that's why we have grown to one of the biggest Bay Area teams uh, here. So,
Well, that basically leads me to my next question. What areas do you guys specialize in?
I mean, I'm based in the peninsula, and the peninsula is defined as San Mateo County, and parts of Santa Clara County. Although we have an agent in the San Jose area, in an area called Willow Glen, but we also cover the coast, the East Bay, as well. And the East Bay is Contra Costa, Alameda County. As a matter of fact, we have 3 in Alameda County right now
Okay.
that we're marketing. And we've during COVID, when people found out that they were going to be able to work from home, I had a lot of clients that only could afford a condo or townhome, which here was defined as like that 1, 2, 1, 3 range.
Mhm.
But over in the East Bay in Contra Costa County, in places like Danville, San Ramon, Pleasanton, Walnut Creek, you could, for that same price, you could buy a, you know, 3, 4 bedroom house on a
Yep.
7,000 square foot lot for that. And so I moved a lot of people over there, which opened up a whole new territory. Of course, during COVID, there was no traffic. So it
Yeah.
was made it really easy. So it was highly justifiable back then. It's a little tougher now, now
Yeah.
that traffic is back and people are going back to work. But yes, but we are established there now. And I probably moved about 18 people, 19 people over there during COVID. So, and now we're doing a lot of business over there.
Love that area. Awesome. So what can a potential buyer or seller expect from you?
Um, I'll answer my phone. I'm old
That's
school that way.
actually honestly, that's
We
a
are
simple
accessible.
answer, but it's very
Yeah,
important.
we are very, very accessible. We're also very hands-on. Just because I'm a team leader, I'm the president of the Palermo Properties team at Compass, doesn't mean that I'm going to hand it off to my other 6 agents. All of us have a hands-on experience. In many cases, we actually team up. I'm teaming up with several of my agents on stuff, but we are always accessible, and also just the knowledge. I mean, we know every single thing about that home, that neighborhood, the school districts, et cetera. We also know a lot since we were ex-corporate. Most of us were in tech, like myself. I was in tech marketing. I was in the advertising agency business, but it was the tech side that brought me
Mhm.
to the Bay Area about 26 years ago. Um, um, we can speak their language. So they feel that they're talking to somebody and working with somebody that is a little bit more um, than the average agent.
Yeah. So you got that savviness. That's
Yeah.
awesome. And I mean, I say this as a lender all the time. Like this is one of the largest purchase anyone ever makes in their lifetime. And
Hmm.
so having an agent that understands all of that, like the school district and everything around, just so you can make sure that you feel comfortable in that commitment that you're making is really, really important.
It is very important, and we expect that of our business partners too, lenders,
Yeah.
title reps. I have all their cell phones. I have all they answer their phones after 5 o'clock. And again, because of the nature of the people that we work with, mostly in the tech sector, um,
Mhm.
they're busy during the day. I mean, they're making big money, and they
Yeah.
are worth, and but they're busy from the hours of 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Most of my business is done after that,
Yeah.
mostly after they eat dinner, they put the kids to bed. Most of my calls are after 8:30. Or as early as 6:30 in the morning.
Yep.
But I have to work with their schedules, and that's what they like about us too, is that we understand that, right? We're not a 9 to 5 by any stretch of the imagination. We're more like 5 to 9.
Yeah.
I've taken phone calls at 11:30 at night. They text me, "Is it okay if I call you?" Sure.
Yeah.
What else? They're busy. I understand. A lot of them travel. They're in different time zones. So I'm dealing with somebody right now from Sydney, Australia. So we have
Oh,
to
wow.
be on his time schedule, and sometimes it's really early, and sometimes it's really late. So it's just adjusting, not
Yeah.
and our clients love us for it. And 80% of our business is referral business now. We've been doing this long enough. We're not really out there actively, working with lead services and things like that. I mean, actually 100% of my business this year, and it's a lot.
Mhm.
And I think I'm already past 35, going on 35 million, 40 million for the year personally. Um,
Mhm.
100% is all referral. I didn't
That's
have to make any
awesome.
phone calls. They called me, because again, they like our service so much. They're referring us to their friends and their friends and their friends. There's one referral group that I've worked with. I've had
Mhm.
33 referral leads from, just one.
That
And
speaks volumes right
yeah,
there.
and
It
all of
shows
our
trust
team
you.
members are in the same boat. We're all getting, because again, we really pride ourselves on our service.
That's awesome. I don't think I've met a real estate agent that can say that yet, and I've met a lot. So
It's
that's
unique here in the Bay Area, though. I mean, it's still very robust.
yeah.
Um, there are, you know, my last 3 listings, I had an average of 8 offers, and they all went about $300,000 to $400,000 over the list price. So I mean, we're still very active here in the Bay
Yeah.
Area, despite what you read in the mass media. It's very, very robust here. Still a lot of people moving here, a lot of
Yeah.
people looking. The AI sector, the Bay Area always reinvents itself. Yes, it does have downturns, but it always reinvents itself as something better. I mean, and getting all the way back to the 1989 earthquake, that kind of birthed the Silicon Valley. After the 9/11, it birthed the whole internet social media craze. After 2008, it just we embedded ourselves again and again. Now that there's a little stagnation, now here comes AI, right? And biotech. We're the largest biotech area in the country as well.
Yep.
So both of those things are again causing another. We keep on stepping up.
Yeah. That is like the
Yeah.
perfect segue to my next question, because I was going to ask, what are you seeing kind of in the market? And so you are starting, like, still seeing a lot of offers for a lot of properties. Are you seeing house values start to tick back up?
Well, they never tick down. That's what's crazy. Yes, in the exurban areas, they
Mhm.
did, right? But near the core where the jobs are, and again, the core being defined is the Silicon Valley,
Yeah.
which is really my core business. And parts of San Francisco, not all of San Francisco. I mean, San Francisco has microclimates, as everybody knows. I mean, you could be 20 degrees warmer in one part of San Francisco than the other.
Yeah.
But they also have micro neighborhoods. So all the areas that have easy highway access, Noe Valley, Glen Park, Bernal, Portola Valley, parts of, of course, but always Pacific Heights, Russian Hill, Nob Hill, all of those nicer areas never really went down in value. But some of the, more middle class areas, yes, they stagnated, never
Mhm.
really went down. We did see condos go down during COVID a lot.
Yeah.
People wanting that yard, right? And didn't want to be cooped up in a, four-walled, high rise
Walk
or
outside.
building.
Yep.
So we did see those go down in value, but they're even starting to click up because housing during that same period went up. And so now people just want to own a home. And
Yeah.
now they're saying, okay, COVID's over. I can deal and with a condo or a townhome or something like that. We're seeing those values starting to tick up a little bit. They did go down during, from 2020 to about 2022, but they're
Mhm.
starting to edge up again.
That's good. I like to see activity. I think we're definitely seeing that in our business too. And our branch actually specializes in reverse mortgages as well. So we're actually seeing a lot more education. Those are kind of making a comeback. But a lot of people are using the reverse mortgage as a purchase versus a
Mhm.
refinance, and
Mhm.
then kind of using that money to invest or do whatever. Everyone's getting a little more savvy, I think, and more educated, which is always good. We have definitely an educated consumer here in the Bay.
Yeah, you do. And you're in the Bay, correct?
I'm in the Bay, yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't. Well, which part?
So I currently live in Fairfield, but
Okay.
I service all of California, and I also service Colorado as well.
Oh, nice. Okay. I have a lot of relatives in Colorado, in the
Yeah.
Denver, Boulder area. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly. Denver is where my family and everything is from. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, and the areas out in those exurban areas like Fairfield, but
Yeah.
Brentwood, Antioch, all that, they did suffer a little bit, and their values are a little bit down because again, a lot of people that moved out to those exurban areas now have to go back to work.
Mhm.
Not all of them, but enough of them that it's stagnating prices in those areas, and they go, "Oh, I'm not making that commute all the way to Google from
Yeah. Oh,
from from
seriously.
from
Seriously.
all the way out in Brentwood or the exurban areas."
Yeah.
So they are thinking about they're selling. and
Mhm.
trying to, relocate in a much smaller place, closer to work. So,
Yeah. Yeah,
but
the traffic is
that is
definitely
affecting the prices out there a little bit.
yeah, it's starting to slowly we're seeing it slowly come back up, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's taking a little bit longer as we're farther out from, like,
Right.
San Francisco and San Jose and things like that. Yeah,
Right. Right.
totally. But there's still a lot of activity. I've been seeing a lot of houses for sale actually in my neighborhood, like you said. People are starting to get closer to where they're working. So
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
Right.
But that is awesome. What are I guess it's hard for any of us to kind of predict, but what are your thoughts on the market in the next 6 months or so? What do you think we're gonna see?
I don't think anything's going to change. I think we still see, you know, I, last year, and I will say, last year was one of probably our worst years in a long time. Uh,
Mhm.
not on home values, but just on activity.
Yeah.
Home values continuing to rise, but inventory was abysmal. And so the whole industry experienced that, and I'm sure you did too. And that was because the interest rates rose.
Yeah.
But now that people are kind of say, okay, maybe this is the new normal, they opened up this year, and so we're seeing actually our one of our best years so far this year. We've actually
Wow.
closed more transactions this year than we did all of last year to date.
Oh,
Um,
wow. Okay.
we're really, yeah, we may have one of our best years ever. But they are lower price points again,
Mhm.
so people are getting back into the condos and townhomes.
Yeah.
So we're doing a lot more of those than we ever have in the past because people just want to buy a house,
Yeah.
and again, they want to be closer to work because they are having to go back to work,
Yeah.
and liking it. Actually, I think they've had enough of working from home. It's too many
Yeah.
distractions, and the focus is not always there. I tried it. I don't like it. I go in the office pretty much every day, so to me, it's just me. I feel like I'm getting more done. Plus, the collaboration with other teammates and office mates. And just inside intel of what's coming on the market, really
Yeah.
advantageous, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well,
Um,
that's so
yeah.
it's we're continuing. We're truck I know I've seen a lot of buyers, at
Oh,
least
no,
ones that
I didn't finish the
oh,
thought,
yeah, sorry.
but sorry.
No, you're
Um,
fine, you're fine.
but I see the market continuing because I think again people are the new normal is these higher interest rates. Now they have come down a little bit.
Yeah.
Treasury went down. The interest rates came down about half point. We just got somebody into a 6.2, 6 and an eighth interest rate on a 30-year fix. Now they had to have $1 million. It was one of those,
Yeah.
you
But
know,
still, it's a good sign.
preferred lending situations, right?
Yeah.
But that is about the best it's been in a long time.
Mhm.
And so people are, getting the house that they want now and banking on the interest rates coming down the next maybe 12 to 18 months and then refinancing. Yes,
Yep.
it's going to be 12 to 18 months of a little bit tight budget, but with the prospects of it getting better so that, if they can save a point or a point and a half on a $3 million home, that's pretty substantial
Yeah.
in terms of monthly payments. I mean,
Yeah.
you're talking about thousands of dollars savings, and so that's pretty per month.
Yeah. I
That's
mean, it makes a difference.
yeah, it makes a big difference. So they're kind of banking on that happening, and so they're just getting in now.
Yeah. Which
Because
is
once the interest rates go down, where everybody can afford them,
oh, it's gonna be
guess
a
what's going to
frenzy.
happen? The
It's gonna be a
buyers that
frenzy.
can't afford now or don't qualify are going to be able to qualify, but
Mhm.
the pressure and the demand is going to out again, you know, just outweigh what's available inventory wise,
Yeah. No, I completely agree. Kind of like what we saw in
which is
2020
going to
where
make
there was
prices go up again.
and I was yep, I was gonna say like what we saw in 2020 where there was 30 offers on one house and it was going, I feel like it's gonna come back as soon as the rates come down. And I've been telling a lot of my clients, marry the house, date the rate.
I've heard that a million times.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And they're listening. They're listening. It's like if you can afford to buy now, buy now. If you find your house, get it, lock it up, and you're not going to have that rate forever. So,
Yeah, and so and I think a lot of these people, especially now, I mean, I have a lot of NVIDIA employees and Meta employees and Google, Apple that I work with. They have a lot of money, a lot of buying power,
yeah,
um, just on the value of their stock and their RSUs alone, and so um, they're able to, yeah, some of them are able to afford cash. As a matter of fact, 50% of our deals have been cash, kind of. In other words, they're borrowing against their portfolios in many cases
mm,
and getting margin loans and things like that, and then
yeah,
refinancing later,
yeah,
right? And so, or and paying back their margin to their whoever their stock is with, the Schwab or Fidelity or whoever
yeah,
each or whatever they're working with. So yeah, I just don't see any the market changing. I hope the inventory gets better.
yeah.
I mean, it's interesting. Most of our deals this year, it's been kind of, again, they're a lot of reloads, but also we are seeing more divorces. We are seeing, and I have 6 divorces that I've done this year.
Oh no.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
Deaths, just parents, the top edge or the early edge of the baby boomers are pretty old. I mean, they're in their 70s and early 80s. And they are, either if they're not passing, they are moving into smaller homes, downsizing, senior care facilities, things like that. I have one right now that's doing that. He's moving into a senior care facility and selling his house. So that's only a part. We're not seeing, I want to move to upgrade or I want to move, just the normal transition from one home to the next. We're not
Yeah.
seeing that as much. Most of the sales, most of the opportunities we have are kind of because they have to.
Yeah.
I hope that changes when rates come down, and it should, but you never know.
Yeah. No, I agree. And like I said, with the reverses, that's exactly what we're seeing too.
Right.
So, yeah. But that's awesome. Thank you so much for your insight. Like you have so much knowledge and experience in this market. It's been a pleasure talking to
I
you.
mean, it's like osmosis, so you have to here, right? I mean,
Yeah.
there's so much intellectual capital here in the Bay Area. You have to be that way in order to keep up and to and stand out, or at least you know be even keel with the clients that
Yeah.
we work with, and it's but I enjoy it. I mean, I've always been a student of
Mhm.
something, you
Yeah.
know, and we're always students, and it's great to be able to continue to learn and to grow, and that's what my team does. We're all have the same mindset that we don't know everything, but by gosh, we are going to work hard to try to learn the most we can while we can.
Yeah. That's awesome. I love hearing that. So, for any buyers or sellers that are watching this and they want to get in contact with you, how do we call you or email you?
Well, you'll probably put a little crawler at the bottom, but my
Yep.
name is Mark Palermo. You can call me or text me at 650-218-6400. Or contact me at Mark, dot Palermo, like the city in Sicily, Palermo at compass.com.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been very insightful, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week.
This is great. Thank you very much. And thanks for asking.
Of course.